Hi, my name is Aaron Nelson, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a reflection video, and I'm also going to reflect back on my time since I've started the Masters in Educational Technology program at Boise State University. As a way of introduction, I received my MLS from Emporia State University in 2011. At this time, we had many speakers that came in and spoke to us about how libraries are transitioning into technology campuses for communities. Libraries have changed over the past 15 years, like many careers and jobs. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to go back and get a second master's in order that I could work in an academic library. I also thought that my technology skills would be enhanced and would be improved. I also have a great vision to help bring libraries into the modern era. After I made this decision, I looked into programs. I noticed that a friend had signed up for Boise State University. Once I checked into the program and spoke with Jerry, like many others, I definitely decided this was the best choice for me, and it's been a very good experience for me. If I were to say a few things to people who haven't been into the program, these would be a few things that I would suggest. First of all, like I said, it's an exceptional experience. It's also, you get your money's worth at Boise State University. One other thing that I would suggest is don't try to learn every educational tool in the world, because you're not going to do it. But what I would recommend is to pick a few that you think would be valuable inside your courses and go after those and learn them backwards and forwards. Knowing technology will make you an asset at any university or college or school for that matter. But one thing that I've noticed, again, is you don't have to know everything. Nobody should ever expect you to know everything about every tool in the world. Also, be daring while in the program. Try something new. If something piques your interest, it's really good to give it a try. For instance, there were a few classes that when I was in the program that I looked very interesting, but I didn't know if I would be a good fit for it. But later on, I found out that a lot of people in the program were as new as I was at knowing a lot of these beginning things. For instance, networking. Before I began the networking class, I had no clue whatsoever about networking or a lot of these intricate and difficult things with hardware. But I got in and I took the class, and I think that my knowledge is a lot better than it was before. One other thing is the core classes are core for a reason. And I think that's the important thing, is that you really get these core classes down. It fits together like a puzzle in the end. When you have time to reflect and look back at your time, you'll realize that those core classes are what matters the most. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to point out a couple of classes that, or a few classes that I took that really caught my interest and really were important to me. So first off, Chris Haskell's 532 Gaming and Simulations course. That when I first saw that class, I thought, wow, that you've got to be kidding. That can't be possible. But when I entered into the class, I realized that I was in for a different experience. What would happen is we would meet every Wednesday, and we would collaborate, we would do games, we would do a lot of different presentations and stuff that you normally wouldn't do in a lot of these other classes. And there's a few reasons I liked it. I liked it because I got to collaborate with other fellow Boise State University students, and by the end I felt like I really knew them, even though I had never even seen their faces. These avatars, as you can see, got to be friends, and it was really sort of freaky that something could be so real within a virtual world. Also, I felt like I was taught by an expert. I felt like Chris, he really knew his stuff. And again, it was fun. I learned a lot. One assignment that I remember doing was we had to do a presentation before a judge. And I did my presentation on Sweden and technology within the country of Sweden. And I realized that a lot of these countries that are really advanced have picked up technology as a main career for a lot of their citizens. And so I think that's one assignment that really stood out for me. A second class that I liked was EdTech 505, Evaluation for Educational Technologists. And this is one of the classes where at the time I was totally hating it because it was so hard and it was so difficult. But now that I'm out of it and have had time to reflect, it was totally worth it. And the reason why was because I felt like the course material was something that was very needed in educational technology. We will go over the ADDIE model, to analyze, develop, design, implement, and the last part is evaluation. And so I really felt like that course, it really sunk through, and I think I'm really glad that I took it towards the end of my coursework because it really made sense to do it that way. Also, I felt like the textbook was a keeper. It was the ABCs of evaluation was the name of the textbook. And the final assignment that we were asked to do, we were asked to take a educational tool that we had implemented into our college and evaluate it. And so I thought that the use that I got out of that assignment was really good, and we've been able to provide a lot of changes within my college because of that final assignment that I had to do in EdTech 505. And another course that I liked was EdTech 506, Graphic Design for Learning. This is one that I'm actually taking right now, but the online course design is very useful in my work. And so we've been able to see what the final outcome will look like, and already I know that this is going to be a class that I will really enjoy, but it will also be really useful in my job. The course also involves a lot of collaboration. It involves a lot of reading, a lot of modeling, but also I think what you get from it is practice, because in the end we're going to have a project that we'll have to create and actually design an online course. And so, as you can understand, of course, that's very useful as I work at an online school. Also, I think the layout of the course is excellent. It's like all Boise State courses, it's very easy to understand, and it's designed very well. And so, in conclusion, I just want to go over a few points, and I mentioned these at the end of my rationale paper, but when I really think back at my time at Boise State, these are a few things that I take away with it, and I'm grateful for. First of all, the practice. I never realized how much practice, a lot of educational tools, a lot of educational stuff, how much it takes. For instance, my YouTube class that I took, it takes practice after practice of making a lot of these multimedia camera things, such as we're doing right now. Also, I felt like I was introduced to the latest and greatest educational tools. Now, again, I mentioned before that one of my biggest problems is I want to know it all. I want to know every single tool. But I have found that if you pick a few tools that you like and you think will be very useful, you can do quite a bit with them. You don't have to know everything to be a good technology specialist, because you never ever will know everything. Also, I learned how to design an excellent course. I know a lot of tools that will make a successful course. And I think, if we keep the students in mind while designing courses, that's what matters most, is the outcomes of our students. I felt I worked hard, and the proof is in the pudding. So when I had time to reflect during my rationale paper and to pick out all of the assignments, I was amazed at everything I had learned. And I was amazed at how everything, in the end, when you put it together, it made sense. A few of these classes when I was in them, I thought, wow, how does this really fit into the program? But now that I've been able to reflect at the end, I'm grateful that I had the courses that I took, and I sort of wish. I'm sort of sad that my time is up at Boise State, because it's really gone by really quickly, and there's a few other classes that I just wish I could take, and I wish I was a millionaire, because I would definitely stay in school my whole life. But I love learning, but I feel like what Boise State has given me is a chance to find tools, to find ways that we can make education work in an online setting, and that's been the most important thing for me. And so thank you for my time, and thank you for listening to this, and we will see you later. Bye.